screen freeze preset tutorial. And first I'm going to show you what we will create. So this is what this preset can do for you. So it simulates a freezing screen over time. And yeah, let's get started. First, make a new comp. Go to Composition, New Comp. Make it whatever size you like. We have a 2.5K CinemaScope with 8 seconds and a black background. Hit OK. And bring in your footage. In our case, it's an image, but it could be also a movie clip or a composition or a pre-composition, whatever you like to. So this is our image. It's a little bit big, so we scale it down so that it fits to the comp. And the next thing is we need a copy of that. So select your layer, string D on a keyboard, and make a duplicate of that, or go to Edit and say duplicate. Okay. And the next is we bring in our preset, and for that you go to your Effects and Presets panel and type in PAT, and that gives you all the presets that ships with the full version of Pattoon. And here you have, for example, also the Finder pulse or the HUD as a build-up or as a pulse, neon light preset, and many more. So, and go to the Pad Eyes effect and simply drag that onto the first layer, and that will give you this preset in your effects control panel. Make sure you close all of these settings and click somewhere in After Effects so that nothing is any longer highlighted. So in a few presets or on a few workstations, we don't know why, is this melting driver named slider or slider controller, whatever. Please make sure to rename that to melting minus driver with an uppercase M and an uppercase D. So melting minus driver, and that should fix this issue, of course. Okay, so let's go through the details and how you can customize this effect. So you'll see this little issue here, and this is because the preset is done in 4K, and we have to tell the preset where to grab the footage from. So open the first picture settings and go to the offset point and simply click this offset point and bring it just to the center of the comp. Here we go, and that will fix the issue. Now everything fits, everything is perfect aligned, and you see the effect works perfectly. Even if we zoom in, you got this nice ice freezing effect. So let's close that and have a look on the melting driver. So this controls the level of freeze on the screen. So that means if you go to a higher value, like let's say 100, everything is free of ice. Okay, or you have some bubbles here, so we have to go even higher. So now we are rid of these little ice bubbles, and as you go to a lower value, as more ice appear on the screen. So this is the point where you animate over time the level of ice on your screen. Make sure the slider only works from 0 to 100, and make sure to move this slider here in this value, not on the slider here. That's important. And yeah, what about how to customize the amount of ice, the art of ice? So here we have a few settings for the ice structure. If you open that, you will see this is the pattern for the ice structure. And if you click on that, and if you have fully installed Pattoon, for example, you want to choose this one, and this gives you a complete new structure of ice. In this case, it's lines, and you can play with the structure of the ice. It depends, maybe it's a window or whatever you like to freeze. Maybe this is a more realistic way to let the ice, to get the look of the ice, okay? But here you can control the look and feel of the ice. I go back to this first thing. Yeah, that's how I like it. And the next thing is the ice texture. You can play around with these settings. So this is the ice texture for now on default, but also you can play with these settings. Let's try this to showcase what happens. And now you see how the structure, how the amount of ice will change. Okay? So I get back to default. The next, which is important, is the ice displays. Here is where you can set the displacement of the ice. That means a higher value gives you much more displacement on the ice. Here you see, and you can play with these settings. We think that most of the settings are, most of the projects are using, you are fine with the default settings, but you can play with them, of course, if you like to. And one thing which is important is the ice finish, and here the light settings. So that means here you can control the light on the ice, and that is depending on your background image. In some cases you need more light or less light. If you bring this value down, you will have not so much light and the ice is becoming darker, as you see. And if you crank that up, the ice of course is getting lighter. Okay, you can play with the light direction. So let's go back to default, something like 120 should be fine. You can play with the ice direction. That means from which angle the light source should reflect on the ice. So you can play with these settings. You will see now it comes from this side here, and so this is where you can play with these settings. And yeah, that's mainly it. So I mean, this is of course, if you change the ice structure, the ice texture to these line styles, that's also a cool feature or a cool effect. So now we will have ice lines on this footage. And if you invert these patterns colors, as you see, this is a black and white image, and everything which is black is free of ice, and everything which is white is filled with ice. You can see that here in this area, and if you switch that, it will simply switch also the behavior of the ice. So if you switch the patterns color, you will see you have ice lines here and nothing on the white images right now. So this is where you can control the basic look and feel of the ice, and you can play with these settings and these maps, of course, too. So that's mainly it. Hope you enjoyed this short tutorial, this short introduction to the ice effect. Hope you get a lot of ideas and fun what to do with Pattoon. Hope you like it, and if you post some of your artwork on Instagram, please post it and use hashtag Pattoon to show us your work and your creative ideas. Thank you for watching. My name is Oliver. We see us in the next tutorial. Thank you. Bye.